Hello, Crafty Crandall here, and today I thought that I would do something a little bit different and give you some insight into my digital art process. If you've watched any of my videos previously, then you probably know that I prefer watercolor over any other artistic medium at this point. I got into watercolor several years ago and haven't looked back since. But recently, I was on a trip and the only art supply that I really had with me was my iPad. And so I decided to start a digital piece, and I figured that I would film it and show you how it turned out. In addition, I also thought that this would be kind of a fun opportunity to do an about the artist. So that's what this piece actually turned into. Toward the end of it, you will see that I write out some of my likes and dislikes, and so I thought that it would be fun to just do, kind of an about the artist in that way, share some of my likes, share some of my dislikes, and let you get to know me a little bit better. One of my biggest likes is definitely concerts. That's why I was traveling a couple of weeks ago and went to Texas and ended up making this piece in the first place. So concerts are such a big part of my life. I really love traveling. I love live music. I love the energy and just the feeling of being at a concert. And so I go to several concerts when, the pandemic isn't a thing, when we're not struggling through such a difficult time. Thankfully, things are starting to open up here in the United States, and I was able to go to my first concert since that hit, and it was with my favorite band, Blue October, and it was just an amazing experience. Obviously, in keeping with that, my next like is music. Music is such a big part of my inspiration for art, and such a huge part of my life again, and something that I just really truly enjoy and can't imagine my life without. The next one on this list is obviously painting. Painting is another huge part of my life. I love to paint, and I just think that it is such something that really helps me kind of put my emotions into physical form, and something that kind of helps me like decompress, if you will, through like the stress of daily life. Cheers. If you haven't had it, Mountain Dew finally released their Baja Blast in can form instead of having to get it at Taco Bell, which I don't have it on my dislike list, but fun fact, I don't really like tacos or like Mexican food all that much, so this was a great treat. The next one I have on my list is guitar. I have recently started learning how to play the guitar. I've been playing for about 2 years and a couple months, so not quite 2.5 years. And although I wouldn't say that I'm any good at the guitar, it's something that I really enjoy doing. And so I've got a couple of little clips of me playing throughout this, and also the piece that you're seeing me draw on my iPad is actually of me playing my guitar. I got a Martin guitar recently as a present to myself, and I had my dad take a picture of me playing it, and so that is what I am drawing for you. Some more things on my list of likes are weightlifting, tennis, snowboarding, hiking. Those are really like the sports that I engage in. So I love working out, I love playing tennis, hiking is always such an enjoyable activity, and snowboarding in the winter is something that I really enjoy. In keeping with that, I also have on this list that I like mountains, so snowboarding, and I also like seasons, because being in Texas, let me tell you, seasons aren't as much of a thing, I guess, there. And so I greatly appreciate having the seasons that we do here in New York State. Obviously, this list would not be complete without putting penguins on the list. You guys know how much I love penguins, and so that is definitely on this list of likes. And then the last thing I have is band t-shirts and lakes and reading. So obviously I wear a lot of band t-shirts. If you've seen some of my videos, I tend to wear them. I painted the band shirt that I was wearing in this photograph into this illustration, and they're just really comfy and I like them. And I buy a lot of them because I go to a lot of concerts. I like to support the bands when I go. I really love traveling, and so I think that pretty much concludes my list of likes. Let's transition over to the dislikes. I had a much harder time figuring out the dislikes, to be honest. Like a much harder time. The first one I came up with was mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms. I don't think I will ever like mushrooms. I know that's like not a very adult thing to say, but to be honest, I just think that they're disgusting. So, mushrooms. I wrote the dark. I always sleep with like a nightlight on, and I'm not a huge fan of like sleeping in pitch dark. So I put the dark on there as a dislike. Drama. Drama is a big one. Not a fan of drama in my personal life. I don't think anyone really is, but that was a dislike that kind of is pretty applicable to like recently in my life. Rap music. Rap music is the only type of music that I do not listen to at all in any shape or form. I listen to a lot of like rock, country, not really any classical either actually. Although I do have some piano specific music. I listen to Christian rock, alternative rock, a lot of like some pop even. I listen to some pop, but no rap. None. Dislike. Hard dislike. I have digital art. Digital art is on this list. As you're probably noticing from the speedpaint, I don't have like a good specific process for my digital art yet. I usually start with sketch, I move on to my line art, and then I try to color in various different ways every single time. So if you saw my piece where I was painting the 6 YouTubers, I'll try to link that video up above for you if you're interested. But when I did Ergo Josh, because he paints in digital mediums all the time, the coloring for that piece was very different from how I colored this piece. And so I think part of the reason that I don't like digital art is because like the coloring process is not as straightforward to me as it is in painting. In painting, and at least, well, let me rephrase that, in watercolor painting. In watercolors, you start with the lightest colors and you build from there. It's relatively straightforward, whereas with this, like you can go any way you want and everyone has a different way of doing it. And so I have not found a digital painting method that really works for me yet. So I'm still kind of developing that as I continue to paint digitally. And then the last two that I have on my list of dislikes were biking. Biking is not something that I really enjoy doing. I was doing a workout program recently, and one day of the whole 90-day program was to do an exercise bike routine. And let me tell you, it was the worst day of the entire program. Not a fan of the bike. And then I have got on here heels. So I don't love wearing high heels. I am not a person that you'll find wearing high heels terribly often. I do have a couple of pairs of boots that have like a chunkier heel that I don't mind, but in general, I am a jeans, t-shirt, and sneakers kind of person, so that is most typically what I will end up wearing. Let me know if you liked this style video. I thought it was kind of interesting to do kind of the commentary in just like a small window and then have the piece kind of displaying in front of you, if you will. I thought that was kind of a fun way to do it, but if this in no way, shape, or form interested you, well, admittedly, you're probably not watching it anymore because we're toward the end, but if you did not like this video, let me know how I could have improved it. If you liked it, then please let me know, and let me know specifically what you liked about it. If you've got any digital art tips for me, please let me know. I'm sure that some of you are amazing digital artists, and I appreciate any and all tips. The program I'm using is obviously Procreate on the iPad. That's really my primary one. However, I do also have Photoshop on my computer, so I can use that, and I have a Wacom tablet that I can use on my computer, so I do have access to other programs if you have suggestions that are like program specific. So with that being said, you guys, please give this video a like if you liked it. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. I post new art and book related content every single Tuesday and occasionally on Friday. Thank you guys so much, and I will catch you in the next one.